What is community? It's Friday Night Lights with laughter as post-game commentary. It's fun runs, fun rides. It's passing the boot for local heroes. And it's breaking ground for groundbreaking startups. This is what makes a community. And it's what makes a community bank. It's fertile financial resources turned back into local soil. Here's to people helping others thrive. This is community banking. D.L. Evans Bank, since 1904.
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
During Toyota's National Sales Event, discover our wide variety of fuel-efficient electrified vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
Some days, I choose the most difficult trail. I test my limits.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy, but I know it's the right way.
When I get done with my ride and I look back at what I've just accomplished, I feel amazing.
It takes courage and determination to do hard things.
But you can do them.
Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
It can be a lot, trying to figure out how to make it, how to dream big, and to wonder, what if? Because no matter where you are in life, if you don't know what's possible in Idaho, it's hard to keep asking, what if? Which is exactly why Next Steps Idaho was created, with everything from smart tools that help you figure out careers you might be suited for, to training and education options for you. So keep asking what if at nextsteps.idaho.gov.
Community. Is it defined by where you live? Or is it something more? A deeper connection. The experience of being welcomed and the feeling that no matter where you're from, 1904.
We welcome you live to Jerome, Idaho. Mike Christensen alongside Carter Christensen. And tonight we've got a non-conference clash between neighbors as the Class 3A Gooding Senators visit the Class 4A Jerome Tigers. This is an IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of Magic Valley Game Night presented by D.L. Evans Bank. Tonight it's the season opener for both squads, and both are eager to start off the 2022 slate with a win. Jerome's going to kick off. Gooding will receive. And we apologize for some difficulties there with our video. It looks like we're up and going now, and we're ready for the opening kickoff. The 3A Gooding Senators will boot it to the 4A Tigers. Varsity head coaching debut tonight for Gooding's Tanner Bauman. He replaces longtime head coach Cameron Anderson, who led the Senators to 3 straight Sawtooth Central Idaho Conference titles. We'll see what this new batch of Senators has tonight as they go up a level to face the Tigers. And there's the opening kick, and a nice return by Jerome. That's Xander Bingham, who gives the Tigers great field position, taking that short kick past the 40-yard line. That's where Jerome will start its first possession of the night. The Tigers just 3-6 a year ago, started the year just 1-6, really hoping to get off to a better start.
Yeah, it's really important in your first game of the season to really start things off hot. Momentum can really play a role at the beginning of seasons.
These two teams have played 2 consecutive years. Gooding winning both games. Both have been close, though, going right down to the wire. 14-9 win for Gooding last year over Jerome. 22-20 back in the 2020 pandemic year. First snap of the game, and a short run up the middle for Daniel Gill. Bring up second down for the Tigers. Gill played quarterback last year, has moved over to running back. Coach Sid Gamble said he's a little bit hobbled heading into this game. Hopes he can stay healthy out there. Juan Benavidez, another guy you'll see carry the ball a lot. And, of course, he's a big star on the defensive side of the ball for Jerome. But the Tigers on the offense right now, they've got some good guys up front on that O-line. And we'll see what they can do here on their first drive of the season. Snap and coming out wide is the quarterback keeper and taken down by a pair of Senators there. Gooding makes quick work of that one. Bryce Patterson in on that tackle. $10:54 to go, first quarter here on Magic Valley Game Night. And a big third down for Jerome here, about 3rd and 5. As they come to the line, looking to slow the ball down a little bit this year. Several of their key linemen playing both sides of the football. Back to throw, first pass of the season for Jerome. That ball is deep and out of the hands of everybody. Bryce Patterson, who plays DB and wide receiver for Gooding. Closest one to that ball, sails incomplete. See if Jerome goes for it here on this 4th down. Abram Garcia, the quarterback this year. He's small, but he's tough. He's only 5'7". Maybe not even 5'7". He's small, but the coach loves his toughness, says he's got a lot of will to win, and we'll see what he can do for Jerome as the starting quarterback this year. As Gill switches over to running back, you may see him play some quarterback, though. You can see he's small behind that big line. And back to throw. There's the pitch. That ball is bobbled. It is recovered by Gooding, and we have a turnover on the first drive of the game. The Senators come up with it, and recovered by number 85, Gage Tiemann, the outside linebacker, getting in the backfield, breaking that play up and recovers it, and he sets up Gooding in great position. Nice play by Tiemann to start the game off.
Yeah, what a great start for Gooding. Couldn't really ask for a better start. Stopping the run really well and then getting a turnover on the first possession.
So Gooding comes out. They will have a 2-quarterback system this year. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how that works. So go with the hot hand. First play of the game goes nowhere. Nice job by the Jerome defense. Sid Gamble said of the strength of his team, he loves his defense. Benavidez at linebacker, great player. They've got some good size up front. Keenan Blair on that line plays both ways. Great lineman for Jerome. As you look out on the field there, he's going to make some plays tonight for the Tigers. And he's number 52. 2nd down and 10 or 11 for the Senators. A lot of new starters. They lost a lot of players from a very talented team a year ago. The pitch goes wide, and a little bit there for Austin Olson. He got quite a bit of varsity time, played well for the Senators last year. One of the few guys that played a big role for that team that's back this year. He takes that carry for a couple.
Yeah, they lost a lot of guys from last year's team, so we'll see some young guys step up and fill new roles for this Gooding team.
There's the snap. And back to throw. Now scrambling. We'll see if he can get to the first down, and he's got a first down. Did he hang on to the football, carrying that football a little wide there? That's Jacoby Mullins-Edwards, one of the 2 quarterbacks for Gooding. He gets the start tonight. You'll also see Braden Martin, number 7, out there. But to get the start, it's number 1, Mullins-Edwards. And he picks up the first down on the scramble. Now he's back to throw again. There's pressure again. He scrambles out, and the ball is picked off by Jerome. Intercepted by the Tigers. And that ball's going the other way. Drayson Pacheco. He is somebody that Coach Gamble's told us to watch for. A great natural athlete. 6-foot junior playing the DB spot. And Drayson Pacheco picks off that football. And Carter, just like our Magic Valley game night a week ago, the teams exchanged turnovers to start the night. First game jitters?
Yeah, it's the first game of the year. You always got to work out the kinks, but they'll settle in the second quarter and start to get things going.
So second possession for Jerome. They take over with 9:03 to go here in the first quarter. 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line for the Tigers. Appreciate you joining us wherever you are around the world here on Magic Valley Game Night on IdahoSports.com. And Abram Garcia and the Tigers are back at it. And there's a handoff up the middle and some tough sledding there. The Senators defense makes another stop. It's going to bring up 2nd and about 10. 2nd and 9, I guess. Picks up a yard there for Jerome. If you love watching Tiger football, Jerome will be on Magic Valley Game Night again next week, facing another 3A foe. They visit Kimberly next week. We'll have that one for you live from Kimberly, so don't forget to join us next Friday at 7. 2nd down, and a keeper there for Garcia. 5'7" quarterback. Carries forward to bring up a 3rd down and about 3. You know, Jerome's had an up-tempo kind of spread offense for quite a few years, but did tell us they would take their time, slow things down, kind of shorten the game, limit the number of offensive plays, play 50, 55 offensive snaps instead of closer to 80 as they try to keep their linemen in the game going both ways. And we'll see how that works out for them.
Yeah, it looks like Garcia got hurt on that play, and they're bringing in the backup quarterback.
And that's number 9, Daniel Gill, who played quarterback last year as a sophomore, and the junior takes over here. We were told we'd see some of him. And Garcia, not big in stature, taking a lot of hits here early, and hopefully he'll be all right. And we'll see what they can do here. We remind you that Magic Valley Game Night is brought to you by our major advertising partners, Project Filter, Valley-Wide Cooperative, the Idaho Transportation Department, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Next Steps Idaho, and your local Toyota dealers.
This production of Idaho Sports is also brought to you in part by Clover Creek Dental. For over 12 years, Clover Creek Dental and Dr. McLaughlin have been providing exceptional dental care to Gooding and the surrounding area. They are now accepting new patients and can also do same-day crowns and implants. Dr. McLaughlin is great with kids and can accommodate the entire family. Clover Creek Dental is proud to support the Senators in tonight's game.
Tigers come back to action here. Scoreless game, first quarter. 7:41 to go. That's where the clock stands with that timeout. And Daniel Gill, number 9, takes over a quarterback for the Tigers on this key 3rd and 4. And he's back. He's going to run wide and not find a lot of sledding. And nice job by the Senator defense. Looked like 57 Devin Del Toro in on that tackle for Gooding. Big guy in the middle of that defense. And brings up another 4th down. We'll see if they go for it here. Fourth down for Jerome. Gill under center. We got a couple backs tight with him there. Bring one in motion. Tight formation, just one receiver to the far side. And there's the pitch wide and in the backfield, making a big play. Gooding, another impressive defensive play. That's 85, Gage Tiemann. He played a great role for the Gooding team that went undefeated last season in the regular season, 9-0. Of course, they lost Colston Loveland, who signed with Michigan as a tight end. Curtis Atkinson, the big quarterback, gone as well. And the entire offensive line from last year, all 5 starters. So they lost a lot in the trenches, guys like Dan Spellman, Dylan Brooks. So a lot of guys to replace, but a hungry young group looking to get it done. And they take over in great field position with that big stop on 4th down. Back to throw. Mullins Edwards, he scrambles out, and he's got a lot of room. He's inside the 10 before he is knocked out of bounds. And we'll see where they mark him there, but that's going to set up a 1st and goal for the Senators. They are knocking on the door, and so far Mullins Edwards scrambling with the football has been their best option to move that football.
Yeah, it's been really tough for Jerome to keep him in the pocket so far. He's pretty quick and shifty.
There's the snap. Pitch goes wide to Austin Olson. And there is a flag on the play. I think that's going to be a hold on the Senators as they run the wide pitch there. Some of those new starters up front for Gooding. 78, Alec Hall. Number 56, Clint Whiting. Number 51, Wick Church out there. As they try to step in and keep the tradition going. Coach Baumann said expectations still high. They are picked 4th this year in the preseason coaches poll. This is a team that's won 3 straight titles in the SCIC. They want to do it again. Back to throw. There's a quick slant. The ball is low and incomplete as Mullins Edwards looking to the outside there for his receiver and unable to connect with Bryce Patterson. Patterson, of course, had the interception earlier in the game, unable to come up with that catch there. That brings up 2nd and 19 from the 19 for the Senators after that penalty. Had a 1st and goal right outside the 5, so costly penalty there. That ball is going to get away from Mullins Edwards. He's just going to slide and fall on it. So after setting up a 1st and goal it's going backwards. Got to be frustrating for Gooding.
Yeah, to get all the way on the doorstep at the goal line and then have some self-inflicted plays there. It can be tough, especially early on in the season, to really get things running smoothly. Guys are still figuring out their roles and figuring out the offense.
As we mentioned, Jerome coach Sid Gamble said he loves his defense. Feels like they're pretty solid. Didn't have a lot of worries. New coach for Gooding, but of course he's been at Gooding for a long time. Expect similar stuff, and the pass to the end zone. That's going to be a touchdown catch. Mullins-Edwards fires downfield to Patterson, who adjusted to the football and hauls it in. And Gooding strikes first tonight with 5:37 to go in the first quarter. Gooding on the board 6-0. They take the early lead. And going for two. And they're going to say that run failed, so the Gooding Senators fail there. Jerome rises up on that special teams play to keep the score at 6-0. But Patterson on the long TD catch puts his team ahead 6-0. With 5:37 to go, Jerome get the ball back, see what they can do here.
I'd like to give another shout out to one of our sponsors, Stampede Burger, locally owned and operated by Ben and Carmen Stevens since 2007. Stampede Burger is the place to go for the best food in Gooding. Hand-pressed hamburgers and handmade and breaded finger steaks. Hungry yet? There's more. Don't forget about all-you-can-eat Taco Tuesday and the brand new Wing Wednesday. Finish off every meal with our new ice cream treat, Stampede Swirl. Stampede Burger is located right in the heart of Gooding at 701 Main Street. Stampede Burger, serving the pride of local farmers and ranchers on every plate. Go Senators.
Grateful for Stampede Burger helping to bring this ball game to you tonight. Gooding ready to kick off. Number 80, Garrett Arnold, be out there to boot it away. Tee that ball up, and if you're Jerome, you've had a couple of possessions. You've gone for it on fourth down and failed. You've had a turnover on a fourth down. They're obviously coming out aggressive. What do you look for here?
Well, they've really struggled up front. They're getting blasted back by that Gooding D-line. I look for them to kind of loosen up the D-line a little bit, maybe do a screen pass, something like that, just to loosen the D-line up a little bit.
Kyler Hamblin, number 10, on that return for Jerome, and they have pretty decent field position again. We'll take over the ball right around the 37-yard line, 36-yard line there as Jerome's third possession of the night here in the first quarter. With 5:30 to go, they take over. We'll see what that front line can do. Coach Gamble said they've had a hard time being consistent on offense, avoiding turnovers on offense in practice, and just putting together good, solid practices consecutively. So he said his team would probably have to grow on the offensive side during the course of the season, and we're seeing that come to fruition tonight. Just a little bit shaky at times. They've showed a good play here and then a backwards play, so we'll see what they do on possession number 3. And it's going to be a keeper for Gill. Number 9, Daniel Gill, the junior, takes it for a gain of a couple yards on the first down play. 2nd and 8 for the Tigers.
Declan Lopez, number 71 for Gooding, is really creating havoc, getting in the backfield almost every play.
Solid start for that Gooding defense. Are you surprised they're doing so well against this 4A Jerome team?
No, not at all. Gooding is almost always good on defense every year.
And another big play there. And once again, Declan Lopez in on that play. And that D-line of Gooding is making plays. The linebackers getting into the backfield, and they've done a good job. It's going to bring up another third down for Jerome, 3rd and 5. From the 42. Coach Gamble's his 11th season with this Jerome program, but he's been at Jerome since 1999, coaching in various capacities and done a good job here. His team won the Great Basin West Pod a couple years ago, looking to get back to those heights with this young crew. Right up the middle, and not much going there. for Jerome. Garza in on that tackle. .350 to go here in this first quarter. It's another 4th down. Jerome has gone for it on every 4th down today. And so far, they haven't had success. We'll see what they do here. See if they put it in the air. They've been keeping it on the ground, but having a hard time creating space up front. We'll see what the guys up front can do. Briar James, center there, comes over the football. Bring a man in motion and keep it, and just no luck. Gill just swarmed under. In the backfield right away, the outside linebacker, Clint Whiting, number 56. And Gill unable to move it. If you're Jerome, you're surprised. I mean, I understand being aggressive, but twice you've turned the ball over to Gooding deep in your own territory. Wisdom of going for it there.
Yeah, with the way Gooding's offense has been playing with their quarterback getting out of the pocket and really creating havoc for their defense, it's interesting that they don't just punt it away and try to make it tougher on the Gooding offense.
So we got a new quarterback in there for Gooding. We were told it would be a 2 QB system. Braden Martin in there, number 7. He hands off on the first snap of the night for him, and Xander Gonzalez takes that handoff for a couple of yards. Braden Martin, number 7, and Jacoby Mullins Edwards will be the 2 QBs. They will rotate over the course of the night, and whoever has the hot hand, Coach Bauman says, will eventually get the majority of the snaps. So we'll see how that goes, trying to create some competition at that quarterback spot. Martin back to throw this time, completes it, but he's hit right away, breaking away again. Several tackles broken. We got a flag. I wonder if that's going to be a face mask. An incredible effort by Butch Morris, the wide receiver, number 23. Boy, he broke about 3 tackles on that play.
Yeah, and including what looked like to me a face mask breaking through that. That was a tough running after the catch there.
And it is going to be a face mask. That's going to add a big chunk, 15 yards, to that run. And Gooding is going to be right in striking territory again. If you're the Jerome defense, you've got to come up with something here. You do not want to go down 2 scores here in the first quarter.
No, momentum is huge in these early games of the season. Right now, Gooding's got it.
Martin in the gun, takes the snap, looking to throw. He's got time. He's throwing long. He's got a man there. Can he get under it? And he overthrows him. Looking for Bryce Patterson, number 4, and that ball sails incomplete. Bring up a 2nd down for the Senators.
Both teams defending the run really well. Just good and getting a little bit more in the passing game than the Jerome offense has.
And the quarterback scrambles, of course, were big on that early drive as well. So we'll see what Martin can come up with here. He's got 2 receivers to the near side. Trying to throw a screen, and he is blitzed and lit up. Maxton Hudson, number 18, gets in the backfield. That is a freshman making plays on the defensive side of the football on that D-line. Bursting into the backfield, throwing the quarterback for a loss. We do have a Tiger down on the play, injured. Kobe Colt, 67, runs onto the field to possibly replace him here. We'll see if everything is okay. Now we'll have a little pause here. That gives us a chance to tell you that Demaray's Funeral Chapel is proud to sponsor the Gooding Senators. At one time or another, a family will be faced with having to make the difficult, emotional decision of making the final arrangements for a loved one. Demaray Funeral Service, Inc. is committed to providing meaningful services for you and your family, serving Gooding, Camas, and Lincoln counties in south central Idaho with complete funeral and cremation services with on-site crematory, pre-arrangements, pre-need insurance, and cemetery monument designing, sales, and servicing. We take time to listen, turning your decisions and ideas into a fitting tribute to honor your loved one. Tonight's game also brought to you by A&G Irrigation. A&G Irrigation is proud to sponsor Jerome Sports. A&G Irrigation is fully stocked with everything you need to keep your irrigation system well maintained and profitable. Along with selling the following products, please note that A&G Irrigation is also a full-service repair and maintenance service for all brands. Give them a call at 208-324-9551. Go Tigers. And trainer's still out there attending to the injured Jerome Tiger. Wasn't able to catch the number there. So we'll see. Hopefully they'll be able to get him up and he'll be okay here in a moment. But taking the precautions. And always tough to see injuries on the football field.
Yeah, it is. You never want to see something like that, especially in the first game of the season. That can just be so terrible when you've gone through the entire offseason, gone through training camp, and then in the first game of the season you get hurt. It's really tough.
Coach Sid Gamble's calling a couple more guys out. See if they can help him off the field. Interesting matchup tonight. You have a longtime head coach in Coach Gamble's in his 11th year. And on the other side for Gooding, Coach Bauman in his first year. A little bit of background there for him. He played at Gooding, actually played for a couple years under former coach Cameron Anderson. He was on Anderson's staff for 4 years, including 3 as the head JV coach. Graduated from Gooding back in 2011. Born and raised in Gooding and now the head coach. So hometown boy taking over for the Senators. And while they lost a lot of talent, a lot of size, a lot of very capable players, they've come out and played pretty well tonight so far.
Yeah, they've started really well. I was really interested to see what we would see out of the Gooding offense, having to replace so many key guys on that side of the ball. But they've come out and they've made some plays early, so it's been good.
So Cortez Magalago, number 78, is the injured Tiger, 5'10", 315, the junior, one of the bigger players on the Jerome roster. Big guy on that defensive line. Got shaken up on that play, and they're helping him off to the sideline. And looks a little pretty gimpy on that leg, maybe an ankle or something there, a knee. And come back to action here. The hard slot count and back to throw. Martin looks down the field, lobs that ball up. It's up for grabs, and it's incomplete. Kind of a jump ball there. 2:05 to go. Clock stops first quarter. 6-0 lead for the visiting Senators, and that brings up a 4th down and 20. Interesting decision here for Gooding, but you're on the Jerome side of the ball. Probably going to go for this, but 20 yards is a lot to pick up here.
Yeah, it is, but you never know. Big plays happen all the time.
Braden Martin awaits the snap, claps for it, takes it, looks down the field, facing some pressure, scrambles, and he is hauled down. That's going to be a sack on 4th down for the Jerome Tigers, and they will take the ball over. A big play there by Jerome. That's Maxton Hudson, the youngster, the freshman. Second big play he's made in the backfield.
Yeah, he's wreaking havoc on the quarterback.
Great start, making his varsity debut as a freshman. He's got speed, he's got some size. Coming off that edge, 6'2", 195. And I'm sure he'll bulk up as the years go, but showing some great promise here as a freshman. Makes the sack, and Jerome takes over. They're on their own 37 with 1:35 to go in this quarter. We'll see if the Tigers can get something going. They've had a hard time moving the ball into Gooding territory tonight. And see what the offense can put together here. Gill remains your quarterback. Again, if you're joining us late, Abram Garcia, number 3, started at QB, got hurt, I believe on the second series for Jerome, and Gill is taking over. He tucks and runs here. He's got a 1st down and more. He is into Gooding territory and down near the 40-yard line. They'll mark him at the 39-yard line. And so far, quarterback scrambles have been the plays of the night. Drops back to throw, tucks and runs. He picks up a big gain. And best gain of the night for the Tiger offense. They're at the 40 of Gooding. And seeing if they can get some momentum going.
Yeah, that was a great play, getting out of the pocket, kind of getting away from that Gooding defensive line that has been all over him so far this game.
Jerome back to the line. Kind of got that bunch set there. Their line, tight ends, 3 backs in the backfield. And we've got a false start there. Flags fly. Either going to be an offsides or false start. Looks like a false start on Jerome. We'll stop that play. So again, after a positive play, we have a negative play. Kind of the sign of an opener with a couple of young teams. And definitely seen signs of that youth and inexperience on the big stage tonight. Season opener for Jerome and Gooding in this non-conference clash. Game of the week. Magic Valley game night on IdahoSports.com. And we're excited to bring it to you. Jerome quarterback Daniel Gill, number 9, waiting for the signal to come in. Looks like some confusion on the call. Finally brings it back to the huddle. Mike Christensen bringing you the game tonight alongside Carter Christensen. We're excited to bring you a Magic Valley game night each week during the season. We've got some great ones lined up, including Jerome at Kimberly next week. Under center, Gill will keep it, spin. Nice little spin move to make something out of nothing. Gets back close to that original line of scrimmage. About a yard shy of that, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 11. That 3rd and 11 possibly here. That might bring us to the end of the quarter. 20 seconds to go. That quarter clock is running. And Jerome's going to call it there, and we'll end the first quarter at 6-0 between Gooding and Jerome here on Magic Valley Game Night. We will step aside for 30 seconds and be back with the second quarter of play.
It can be a lot, trying to figure out how to make it. How to dream big and to wonder, what if? Because no matter where you are in life, if you don't know what's possible in Idaho, it's hard to keep asking, what if? Which is exactly why Next Steps Idaho was created, with everything from smart tools that help you figure out careers you might be suited for, to training and education options for you. So keep asking what if at nextsteps.idaho.gov.
Welcome back, Magic Valley Game Night. Second quarter about to begin here as Gooding and Jerome tangle here in Jerome, Idaho. 6-0 lead for the Senators. And Jerome facing a 2nd and 11 from the 42 of Gooding. Trying to even up the score, see if they can take the lead here. And really escaped a dangerous situation where Gooding was about to go up 2 scores and then kind of imploded there with some miscues, keeping it a 1-score game. Jerome takes over here. Gill hands it off, and a decent push there that time. Good job by the Jerome line. It's been kind of a stalemate up front between these two lines, but Jerome makes some plays there to move the football ahead a little bit. Colby Coates, 67, helping block the way there. It's going to bring up a 3rd down, though. Third and 7 for the Tigers. We've got one receiver to either side. Out wide, Seth Capps, Xander Bingham. And back to throw up until they lost to eventual state champion Weiser in the Class 3A state semifinals. 49-27 loss, but they were undefeated going into that game. SCIC champ keeping the football tougher to do in this situation.
Yeah, it is with the defense tightened up like that with the goal line. It's really hard to do what Jerome's been wanting to do with the run.
We got 2 people shifting at once. It's going to be a false start there. Big play, staying disciplined on that fake handoff, and a big play there by Gooding to keep Jerome scoreless on the night. Senators will take the football over. 9:12 to go till halftime.
Yeah, that was a great job. Keeping the outside contained, not letting anything outside of him. That was a great open field tackle, which is very hard to do.
So Gooding, deep in their own territory, takes the football over. See what they can do here. Martin staying at quarterback in a game. And 2nd and 4 after that nice pickup on 1st down. It's another handoff. I believe that's our 3rd turnover of the night. Although we've had a couple turnovers on downs as well with their aggressive 4th down attempts. So Jerome in a good spot here for that Jerome run game. Gooding doing well up front to limit what they can do so far. Gage Tiemann and company playing well for the Senators, who hold a 6-0 lead. We have 5:50 to go till halftime. Receiver to either side. Capps, number 1. Bingham, number 70, a junior. And he picks up part of what they needed. It's going to bring up 4th and 4 from the 19. We'll see what the Tigers come up with here as they try to get on the board.
I think that was good by Jerome to kind of get the ball outside. Obviously,
return man at the 40-yard line. We got a timeout on the field. We invite you to follow IdahoSports.com on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Get updates, breaking news, pictures, and more. Click the icons in the top left to follow us now. And, of course, the prepcast that Idaho Sports does, always entertaining, occasionally controversial. The IdahoSports.com prepcasts cover every inch of Idaho, hosted by Brandon Vaney. Each prepcast features one of our in-house experts talking about what's going on in your part of the state. Just go to IdahoSports.com and click Prepcasts in the menu to get caught up on what you've been missing. So 4th and forever here, 2:55 to go till the half. And looking at what could be our first punt of the night. These teams have been aggressive, but largely unsuccessful on 4th downs tonight. And looks like we're finally going to see a punt. And that is a high, short punt. It's going to come down. And getting out of the way there, Drayson Pacheco, incredible athlete for Jerome, really high on his athleticism. Said kind of bringing him along with the game of football, using him here and there where they can as he learns more and more. But a guy who could really factor into Jerome's success as the year goes along, a talented, athletic junior. They expect big things from him. Doesn't get a chance to touch the ball there, though, with that short punt. Jerome will take over at the 47-yard line. And they've had several possessions here in a row in good field position. They flipped the field, at least from the early part of the game, but unable to punch it in. Juan Benavidez, number 8, is a young man who we expected to call his name quite a bit tonight. Has not really touched the ball on the offensive side. Really leads the way on the defensive side, and obviously Jerome playing well there. Good leader, 5'7" senior. What was it Coach said about him?
he said that if he was 2 inches taller and maybe like 20 pounds heavier, that almost every college in the country would probably go after him.
Really talented, relentless, high-effort kind of player. Just a little undersized, but makes a lot of plays, a lot of tackles for these Tigers. And Jerome, a decent gain there on first down. It's going to bring up second down from just inside the 45. Second and about 7. Gill's got those 3 backs behind him. Whitby there along with Pacheco. And under center. He's going to pitch it wide and taken down. Nice tackle by Olson in the backfield. Drayson Pacheco gets the football, the 6-foot junior, but he was cut down. Nice tackle there by Olson, who goes both ways for this Gooding team. Olson is a guy who was an all-conference performer last year on the defensive side of the football, as was Tiemann, Clint Whiting. Those guys kind of lead the way as returning all-conference performers for Gooding. This Gooding defense told us tonight they would be multiple. You see some 3-man front, some 4-man front. They would use both approaches against Jerome. They've got heavy presence on the line right there. And not much there on the short run. Gill keeps that one. He had hoped to play more running back than quarterback tonight, but stepping in relief of the injured Abram Garcia, who was only able to play the first few snaps for the Jerome offense before he had to leave the game. Tough break there. 5'7" junior. Garcia was looking for big things this year. They were excited about him. And it looks like he's back in the football game. So shaken up early. You can see how undersized Garcia is, number 3, as he comes to the line. Gill definitely the bigger of the two, and they want him to be more at running back. So now you shift spots here. And Garcia is back to throw, scrambles, throws it deep. He's got a man down the middle. It's up for grabs, and it's going to be caught by Jerome. I think he was looking for number 11, Toby Walker. But in the end, That ball is caught by Seth Capps, number 1. They were both kind of running from the opposite side of the field to the inside of the field, and a kind of a jump ball there. And Garcia throws that ball in the air, and a big catch. 17.7 seconds is all we have left in the first half of play. 1st and 10 now for the Tigers, and we've got a timeout as they try to stop the clock there. They get down to the 11-yard line and take the timeout, see if they can score before the end of the half. Great play for Jerome there, getting the ball down the field.
Yeah, this could be huge to end the half with the score. Maybe take the lead, go into the half with some momentum.
Garcia just 5'7", 155, dropping back and giving it everything he's got to get it down the field there. And great jump ball catch by Capps, the 6'2" sophomore, to put Jerome in position to make something happen. They've been stymied most of this half. Even when they've had good field position, they haven't been able to score, and so they would love to not just knock on the door, but punch it in here. What do you think they do here? Less than 18 seconds to go in the half.
Well, they haven't been able to run the ball at all, pretty much. So they just had some success in the air. I would think that they would go back to that, maybe try a couple of back shoulder throws to the end zone before the end of this half.
Yeah, tough time to run the ball with that clock having so little time on it. Big play here as the Jerome band fires up the crowd. Good home crowd on hand for the first game of the season. Good visiting crowd for the Senators, packing the visiting stands across the way, making the short drive over from Gooding. And we welcome you wherever you are around the world joining us on IdahoSports.com. There is the handoff up the middle. Garcia with the give and a short gain for Jerome, and they take a timeout. Maybe hoping they could catch him off guard by running it there, but very little on the play. .3 seconds to go in the half with a 2nd and 7. We've got an injured Tiger on the field. Trainer's back out again. Second time tonight we've had a Jerome player go down, unfortunately. Cortez Magalago left the game earlier, number 78. Had to be helped off the field by some coaches, and he's sitting on the bench without his helmet. We've probably seen the last of him tonight. We'll see what happens if he's able to come back. It was pretty gimpy when he came off, so Jerome wouldn't really be hurt to lose another player. This pause in the action gives us a chance to thank our wonderful sponsors, including Clover Creek Dental. For over 12 years, Clover Creek Dental and Dr. McLaughlin have been providing exceptional dental care to Gooding and the surrounding area. They are now accepting new patients and can also do same-day crowns and implants. Dr. McLaughlin is great with kids and can accommodate the entire family. Clover Creek Dental is proud to support the Senators in tonight's game.
This production is also brought to you in part by A&G Irrigation. A&G Irrigation is proud to sponsor Jerome Sports. A&G Irrigation is fully stocked with everything you need to keep your irrigation system well maintained and profitable. Along with selling the following products, please note that A&G Irrigation is also a full-service repair and maintenance service for all brands. Give them a call at 208-324-9551. Go Tigers.
So Daniel Gill, number 9, helped off the field there. Yeah, that's a big loss for the Tigers. He has played quarterback and running back for Jerome tonight, and he has helped to the side. That's 2 Tigers who've had to be helped off the field tonight. So after that carry up the middle, Gill has to leave the game. 5'10", 195, tough player, talented junior, an important player for this Jerome team. That would be a big loss if he's unable to return.
Yeah, it would. He's been all of Jerome's offense so far in this game with his quarterback scrambles and running the ball. So we'll see how they adjust and probably see some other guys step up in his absence.
12.3 seconds to go till halftime. Gooding 6, Jerome 0, but the Tigers knocking on the door. They have 2nd and 6 to go. They can get a first down short of the goal line. They're at the 9-yard line and likely a throwing down. Receivers to either side, Capps and Bingham, number 2 and number 1. And Garcia's back to throw. lobs it to the end zone, and that's going to come up incomplete. There is a flag on the play. I'm not sure if that's going to be offensive or defensive pass interference. It almost looked like the Jerome offensive player tried to keep the Gooding player from getting the interception there, so we'll see what the call is.
Defensive.
And the official going to come make the call here. Pass interference against Gooding. So that is a big play to set Jerome up with a chance to punch the ball in. They've got 6 seconds left in the half, 6.4 seconds, a 6-point deficit, and the ball at the 6-yard line. So 6s all around. 6-0 game, 6 seconds, 6-yard line. Jerome Garcia under center. Back to throw. Lobs it to the end zone. 2 players there. And they say incomplete. Nice effort by Bingham to try to get that football. There is 1 second on the clock. 1 second left in this first half. One last play for the Jerome Tigers to try to score. And Garcia put that ball up there, had a couple receivers in the vicinity, unable to bring it down. Bingham had the best chance at it, Xander Bingham, the junior. But the ball falls incomplete. Toby Walker, number 11, is receiver to the far side, Bingham to the near side. And Garcia, number 3, under center. And we have got a timeout taken by the Senators. Really a key play here, a second to go in the half. You're clinging to this lead. You want to keep the shutout intact.
Yeah, good timeout by Gooding, just to make sure they're set and they see what Jerome comes out with and kind of go from there.
We remind you that this is an IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of Magic Valley Game Night, presented by D.L. Evans Bank and brought to you by our major advertising partners, Project Filter, Valley-Wide Cooperative, the Idaho Transportation Department, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Next Steps Idaho, and your local Toyota dealers. Game also brought to you by Stampede Burger, locally owned and operated by Ben and Carmen Stevens since 2007. Stampede Burger is the place to go for the best food in Gooding. Hand-pressed hamburgers and handmade and breaded finger steaks. Hungry yet? There's more. Don't forget about the all-you-can-eat Taco Tuesday and the brand new Wing Wednesday. Finish off every meal with our new ice cream treat, Stampede Swirl. Stampede Burger, located right in the heart of Gooding at 701 Main Street, Stampede Burger. Serving the pride of local farmers and ranchers on every plate. Go Senators. The Senators hoping for a big stop here as Jerome looks to get it in the end zone with a second to go on the clock and a third down. Play wide open in the end zone. It is caught. Number 11, Toby Walker, hauls it in. And a great play call by the Tigers. And back to throw is Garcia. Lobs it up wide open in the back of the end zone. Don't know how Walker got totally missed, got behind the defense. Nice fake there, and they tie this score at 6 apiece.
Big play there to end the half.
So Jerome gets on the board on the final play of the half. And now we've got the extra point pending to try to give them the lead. The kick is up. The kick is good, and Jerome is going to head to the locker room with a 7-6 lead, trailing virtually the entire half. But the kick is good to end the half for Jerome, splitting the uprights is Pacheco, and it's 7-6 Jerome as we go to the locker room. What a big play to end the half.
Yeah, that was huge to go up 1 right before halftime instead of going in with 0 points.
We invite you to stay tuned here for halftime as we bring you some spots from our sponsors of tonight's football game, and we'll be back to recap the first half and get you ready for half number 2 here in Jerome on Magic Valley Game Night. We've got 20 minutes to go. Third and fourth quarters upcoming in a tight football game that could go either way. Thanks for joining us on Magic Valley Game Night here on IdahoSports.com.
What is community? It's Friday Night Lights with laughter as post-game commentary. It's fun runs, fun rides. It's passing the boot for local heroes. And it's breaking ground for groundbreaking startups. This is what makes a community. And it's what makes a community bank. It's fertile financial resources turned back into local soil. Here's to people helping others thrive. This is community banking. D.L. Evans Bank, since 1904.
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
During Toyota's National Sales Event, discover our wide variety of fuel-efficient electrified vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
Some days, I choose the most difficult trail. I test my limits.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy, but I know it's the right way.
When I get done with my ride and I look back at what I've just accomplished, I feel amazing.
It takes courage and determination to do hard things.
But you can do them.
Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've been today and tomorrow, we're here for you.
It can be a lot, trying to figure out how to make it. How to dream big and to wonder, what if? Because no matter where you are in life, if you don't know what's possible in Idaho, it's hard to keep asking, what if? Which is exactly why Next Steps Idaho was created, with everything from smart tools that help you figure out careers you might be suited for, to training and education options for you. So keep asking what if at nextsteps.idaho.gov.
Community. Is it defined by where you live? Or is it something more? A deeper connection. The experience of being welcomed and the feeling that no matter where you're from.
Welcome back to Jerome, Idaho, Magic Valley Game Night on IdahoSports.com. Mike Christensen alongside Carter Christensen. It's halftime, and the Jerome Tigers with a score on the final offensive snap of the half now have a 7-6 lead over the visiting Gooding Senators. Gooding led 6-0 for most of the night, but Jerome takes the lead on the last play there with a second to go. The pass to the end zone to Toby Walker, number 11, the senior. Big target at 6'5", hauls it in, and Jerome has a 7-6 lead as the Jerome High School dance team entertains the crowd here in Jerome. We remind you, did you get your Gridiron game picks in this week? Compete every week against other high school sports fans and the so-called experts at IdahoSports.com for free. Win weekly prizes and the chance to be crowned the regular season picks champion. It's okay if you start now because weekly winners get $25. If you are the regular season grand champion, you win $100, and a $250 donation will be given in your name to your favorite Idaho high school athletic program. Best of all, it's free to play. Visit IdahoSports.com for more. We'll take another short break, and we'll get you set for the second half of what should be an exciting football game here in Jerome.
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
During Toyota's National Sales Event, discover our wide variety of fuel-efficient electrified vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
It can be a lot, trying to figure out how to make it. How to dream big and to wonder, what if? Because no matter where you are in life, if you don't know what's possible in Idaho, it's hard to keep asking, what if? Which is exactly why Next Steps Idaho was created, with everything from smart tools that help you figure out careers you might be suited for, to training and education options for you. So keep asking what if at nextsteps.idaho.gov.
We're a Valleywide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Welcome back to Jerome High School here in Jerome, Idaho. Magic Valley Game Night on IdahoSports.com. Mike Christensen joined by Carter Christensen, and a interesting, hard-fought first half of play.
Yeah, it was both sides really tried to establish the run, both sides not having a ton of success, so both sides turned to the air, and that's how both scores came, is by throwing, and it's really going to be interesting to see what the offensive coordinators for each team decide to do with the not having success running the ball.
As we got a chance to touch on just briefly early in the game, this is a Gooding team that was undefeated in the regular season last year, went to the state semifinals. They lost Michigan signee Colston Loveland, the tight end, who 6'5", huge talent, caught a ton of passes for this team, holds a record at Gooding for the most catches in a season. Quarterback Curtis Atkinson, the offensive line, Dan Spellman, Dylan Brooks and company, lost all those guys. But Coach Bauman, Tanner Bauman, in his first year really felt like he had a hungry group that was going to come to play, and they really showed up early.
Yeah, they came out ready to play. Both quarterbacks coming out and playing well, and especially the defensive line with Declan and those guys really. Declan Lopez really playing well, and 33. Brody Greeley has really been good for Gooding coming off the edge.
So the Senators built that early 6-0 lead thanks to a touchdown in the first quarter. Patterson hauled that in, about a 25-yard touchdown reception for number 4, Bryce Patterson. And Mullins Edwards, the quarterback on that play, made it 6-0 with 5:37 to go in the first quarter. And we didn't have really any more offense the rest of the half until the very end of the half, when Jerome got the ball in good field position, and Toby Walker gets the touchdown for Jerome, and then the extra point makes it 7-6 Tigers at the half. And of course, Gooding went for 2 and was stopped on their play. That's the difference in the ball game so far. We've got just a minute or so until the second half slated to begin. Gooding is back on the sideline ready to go. The Tigers working through those halftime adjustments, have not come back quite yet. So Jerome, team that was 3-6 a year ago, 1-6 start to the year before finishing with a couple of victories to end the year and really looking to build their momentum. And a couple of 3A teams on the schedule to start with, which could help them. They've lost to Gooding 2 years in a row, but they have the lead at halftime. They go to a Kimberly team that's rebuilding a bit next week. How do you feel about Jerome's chances to start this season off, not just with a win tonight, but maybe get to 2-0?
Yeah, they have a good chance, but don't look past Gooding. Gooding is a very, very good, well-coached team. So it's gonna be a tough second half here. We'll see who comes out on top, and like you said, Kimberly coming off losing a lot of their key players from last year, as well as their head coach Rich Bishop, lost him, and so we'll see what Kimberly gives them next week.
Now you had a chance in high school to play against Jerome several years in a row, and this was a team that didn't look offensively like the team we saw tonight.
No, they ran a much different offense a couple years ago, so it's been interesting to see them kind of completely shift offenses here to running more of a run-heavy offense opposed to the spread offense.
A lot of throws, a lot of quick throws, screen game. That was one of the things Coach Bauman said he was really worried about tonight, was the screen game of Jerome. We haven't seen the screen game of Jerome. It's been lining up in really, they kind of look like Minico. Lining up with those backs in the backfield, tight to the line, and a lot of handoffs and fakes and misdirection. They haven't had as much success as the Spartans do, but they're trying to eat that clock and shorten the game.
Yeah, that's an offense that Minico has been running for for years and years, and you can tell Jerome's just starting to try to get things settled on running that kind of offense, and we'll see what the second half looks like. See if they get settled in.
You kind of predicted that. It would take these teams a quarter or two to kind of settle in on the night on the season opener, and we'll see how Jerome's wing T offense looks as they shorten that game. They've got some key linemen trying to go both ways. Of course, they've already lost a couple players tonight. Daniel Gill, who started at running back, moved to quarterback to replace the injured quarterback, Garcia. Garcia able to come back, and Gill moves back to running back and gets injured late in the half. So we'll see if he can return to the field in the second half. And, of course, number 78, the lineman, 315-pounder, Cortez Magalago also went out in that first half and did not return, and he is on the bench to start this second half, and seems like unlikely to play again. But we'll see if Gill is able to return. They said he was a little hobbled coming into the game, and keeping him healthy was key, and unfortunately he was down and had to leave the game.
Yeah, he's coming out right now with his pads off. It doesn't look like he's going to get back in there.
Tough break for the Tigers as he limps onto the field with his knee wrapped in ice. But Daniel Gill likely done for the night. That puts more pressure on Abram Garcia, the 5'7" junior quarterback, to not just stay healthy, but to move this team through the air. You lose a lot of size in that run game when you don't have Gill back there. So some of these young running backs will have to step up. We'll see if we see Juan Benavidez get some more carries. He was expected to play the biggest role on defense, but really play both sides of the ball. Maybe we'll see him more with Gill out of the game. And, of course, you have guys like Quentin Whitby, number 5, also in that backfield, who can make some plays for you. Jerome will kick off to start the third quarter of play here on Magic Valley game night. The Tigers with a narrow 7-6 lead. The Senators will get the first chance to score as the third quarter of the season opener is underway. And taken down, nice tackle. Jerome has the football. They're going to say he was down, I think. The home crowd wants the football, but we'll see what they say here. The return by Butch Morris. He was knocked down, and I think while he was on the ground, the ball was poked out. Fans don't like it, but I think that's the correct call. It seemed like Morris had been tackled to the ground, and then the ball was punched loose, but kind of a bang-bang play. But it stays with Gooding, so a break for the Senators, who don't lose the ball on the turnover, and they'll have a 1st and 10. To start half number 2, 11:54 on the clock.
Gooding very lucky there that Jerome didn't get the ball right off the bat.
And back to throw. Mullins-Edwards, he's got a receiver wide open. Seemed like the Jerome defense kind of fell asleep and didn't see him. And a big gain on the first play. Kind of the hot read right there. Nobody over the receiver. They make the quick pass to the outside and a big gain down the field. I believe that was Patterson, number 4, taking that pass and picking up the first down. And the Senators right away into Jerome territory to the 37-yard line. Right back to it. They're going quicker. Hand off to Olsen. He loves the spin move. Spins into a bunch of tacklers there, and the Tigers bring him down after a short gain of about 3 yards. Coach Bauman, in his head coaching debut at the varsity level, been the JV coach for Gooding the last few years, he said the team would use some different tempos. They'd go fast sometimes, they'd go slow sometimes. They've come out trying to get some momentum going here in the third, going fast, and it's working so far. But we've got a flag there as Olsen brings the ball to the near side on the pitch. We might have a hold. Mason Lopes, the tight end on the outside there, may have been guilty of the hold, trying to free some room for his teammate. And so that's going to push Gooding back. And that's kind of been the story of this game on both sides of the ball. A positive big play followed by a penalty or miscue or turnover, as the teams have had a hard time consistently moving the ball up and down the field. And thus a low-scoring 7-6 battle here in the third quarter in Jerome, where we have 11 minutes and 12 seconds to go till halftime. Mullins-Edwards, number 1, back to throw. He's going to scramble. He's being chased, and he's taken down on the sideline by Daxton Sharp, number 44, the sophomore linebacker, in pursuit, makes the tackle, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down and long for the Senators. They pick up a little bit there, but they've got 3rd and a long 10 to go here. Tight formation for Gooding. Even the receivers are tight to the line here. And there's an inside pitch. And almost pulled down, but still fighting forward. That's number 20, Mason Lopes, the tight end. And Lopes hauled down short of the first down. It's going to bring up a 4th down. There is a flag on the play, though, which could lead to a tough decision for Jerome. If you're Jerome, do you bring up a 4th and 6 or so, or do you push them back and make it 3rd and long? It is a hold on the Senators, 2nd hold of this drive. So a great play to start the drive with the pass to the sideline and a big gainer. Gooding unable to move the ball forward since then. First big full night of football around the state of Idaho. Third down. They've got 2nd down on the marker across the field, but I believe it is actually 3rd down. 3rd and 17 from the 45. There's the snap to Mullins Edwards. He's just looking to pick his way forward, and a small gain before he is swarmed under by a host of Tigers. You're surprised on 3rd and 17. That's your play call.
Yeah, it's interesting, especially since they had so much success that first play throwing the ball, and they've been able to kind of get the Tigers downfield on those long throws. Interesting that they decide to run the quarterback draw there.
So in Jerome territory at the 43, Gooding is going to go for it. That ball is lost by Mullins Edwards. He's scrambling, and he's taken down. And according to my count, that should have been 4th down, but they only had it as 3rd down on the marker. So we'll see if this is one of those magical, was it Colorado or Michigan? They got that mysterious 5th down years ago in college football. We'll see what happens here for Gooding. It looks like they're going to get an extra down here.
Being a ref's a hard job.
Lots to keep track of, but somehow that went from 4th down to 2nd down after that penalty. And the kick is deep, and they'll let it bounce. Carries into the end zone for a touchback. Good decision. That's a tough one as a kick returner. Pacheco made the decision to let it bounce. Gets into the end zone. Jerome will take over on offense. They get a stop on the first possession of the game. First possession of the 3rd quarter, for the Senators, and they will take over with that lead. And Jerome at the 20-yard line to start this drive. Remind you can watch these games again on IdahoSports.com. Head to the website for the archived versions and rewatch games around the state. We've got whistles. And looks like an offside on Gooding. So the penalties for Gooding piling up here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, not a great start for Gooding.
Lining up in the neutral zone, it looked like there. And that's going to give Jerome a 1st and 5 from the 25.
That's really the first mistake Gooding's defensive line has made all day.
They've had a great football game. And Jerome to the line. Center Briar James, number 77, 6'2", 255 over the ball. Snaps it to Garcia, who's back to throw. Heaves it down the field, and it's picked off. A one-handed interception by Bryce Patterson, and he's on the return to the 35 where he's taken down by 74 John Young. What an incredible pick by Patterson.
Yeah, that was a great play.
You know, Coach Gamble said that a lot of heart in Garcia, an incredible player, but he's small hands, hard to grip the ball. He really has to wing it to get it down the field like that and put it up in dangerous territory, and Patterson just reaches out, snatched it.
Yeah, it's really hard too. Jerome has a lot of tall, big guys on their offensive line, and when you're that short, it's really hard to see over the offensive line and make accurate throws.
So the ball back to Gooding. And Olsen, nice patience, bounces to the outside. He's got some room, and he's up near a 1st down. Great run by Austin Olsen, the junior running back. He's right near the 1st down marker. I think they're going to give that to him. But there is another flag on the field and another hold on the Gooding Senators. I believe that's 4 penalties for them here in this 3rd quarter. And we've only played a couple of minutes, 8:38 to go in this quarter. So just over 3 minutes gone and about a penalty per minute for the Senators. Can't get out of their own way. One of the best runs of the night there by Olsen, and it comes back.
Yeah, maybe the reason that was a great run is because of the hold.
There could be something to that. Gooding with a receiver to either side as they come to the line. Mullins-Edwards looks for that quick screen pass and finds his man, number 88, Austin Smith. And he's got a good gain and a first down. Well, let's see where they mark him. May be just short of a first down. Going to mark him just shy of the 25-yard line. That's going to bring up a second down and short with 8:25 to go in the third quarter. Mullins-Edwards going to keep it. He's got good blocking in front of him, and he picks up the first down and then some down near the 20-yard line. And Gooding on the move. If they can just stop committing penalties, they've shown the ability to move the ball. We'll see what they can do to finish this drive off. But Jerome, they like their defense. They felt confident on defense. And we'll see if they can rise up and make another stop in the red zone. Mullins-Edwards fakes, nobody there. Kind of a busted play maybe. He's going to keep the ball. He turned to his left and Olsen was on his right. And then he just pulls the football and runs, but picks up a decent gain, all things considered.
Yeah, he's run the ball really well tonight.
Picks up about 7. Interesting kind of dynamic with the two quarterbacks for Gooding, going back and forth, rotating every couple of series. 2nd and 3 from the 13. 7:37 to go in the third. Back to throw. Mullins-Edwards looking to the end zone. He throws it deep. Oh, almost caught and broken up. Nice play by the Jerome defense. That was Seth Capps, I believe, on the defensive coverage there and knocking that football away. Number 4, Eric Castaneda broke that up. That ball was in the hands of the receiver in the back of the end zone, and he reached in and punched that out. Great play by the senior DB for the Tigers. Now here comes an inside pitch. That's Butch Morris, number 23, takes it around the outside, and the receiver picks up a little. We've got some yellow laundry on the field and another hold on the Senators. So that'll push Gooding back a ways. The clock stops at 7:21 to go in the third. Gooding trailing 7-6. The 3A Senators playing up a level against the 4A Tigers. And they've beaten Jerome 2 years in a row in close games, 14-9, 22-2, both good competitive ball games like this one early in the season. Jerome trying to switch the script and get the win to start the year. Mullins-Edwards scrambles, throws, finds this man Olsen, who dances upfield, picks up a decent gain, but it's going to bring up a 4th down here as we run under 7 minutes in the third. And we've seen a lot of 4th down attempts tonight, very few 4th down conversions. We'll see what Gooding can do as they face a 4th down and 5 from the 15-yard line. Mullins-Edwards, number 1, back to throw, scrambling to the outside, looking, throwing back across his body dangerously, up for grabs, and knocked away. Incomplete in the back of the end zone. Bingham there on the coverage. That ball knocked down. Jerome is going to take over. The Tigers get another stop on the defensive side. Both teams have had chances to get into the red zone and largely come up empty tonight. So Jerome will take over at the 15-yard line. 6:34 to go and a 1-point lead.
Yeah, if only both teams had a really good field goal kicker, they could have a lot of points by this point. They've been in the red zone a lot this game without converting.
That thought crossed my mind. We could have at least 3 or 4 field goals tonight if these teams had a kicker they were confident in to kick those field goals. As it is, a lot of 4th down attempts that have failed. Very few trips to the end zone. 1 per side in a close game, and that 2-point conversion that Gooding failed on could be huge as this game progresses. The ball is snapped. We got another offsides. And again, Gooding lining up in the neutral zone, stopping the play before it can even begin. And the miscues for Gooding are just piling up.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. I thought Jerome started a little early, so.
Goes against the Senators, and we'll give Jerome a 1st and 5 here. They'll take the free 5 yards on the Gooding miscue. And for Coach Bauman, he's got to be frustrated to see how many mistakes his team has made in this quarter when they've had a chance to take the lead back. And right now they're on their heels and committing a lot of mistakes. Garcia keeps it to the outside, and very little there. And nice job by Gooding. Number 11 on the tackle there. Second and 5 from the 20-yard line for the Jerome Tigers. Season opener for these two teams, both 0-0. Undefeated coming into tonight. Only one will leave undefeated. Both hoping to get off to a strong start at 1-0. See what the next quarter and a half holds. Jerome fumbles that football. It's bouncing around. Who's going to come up with that? That ball was lost by the running back up the middle. And Gooding has the football in great field position. Big play for the Senators. So they come up with the ball and will take over in great position to score. That might have been Ashton Young, the senior, number 62, that came up with that there in the middle of the pile. But either way, Gooding with the football at the 23-yard line, 1st and 10, and 5:46 on the clock here in the third quarter. The Senators, another chance deep in Jerome territory. See if they can take advantage of this one. Mullins Edwards is the quarterback again. They've been rotating too. Austin Olson with the handoff, picks up maybe 4 yards as he's slung to the ground by that Jerome defense. Tigers have a tough D, just trying to get the offense on track, and it may take a few games for some of these new faces and young players to kind of get in the groove on the offensive side. They're hoping their defense can carry them until then. They've done that tonight. See what they come up with here on 2nd down for the Senators. There's the pitch inside to Morris. They like that forward pitch as he comes in motion across the line.
Little shovel pass.
And he takes the short shovel pass for a gain up near the marker. 3rd down and 1 with under 5 minutes to go on the clock. On a beautiful night here in Jerome. Gooding knocking on the door at the 15-yard line. And swarmed under in the backfield. A big play there by the Tigers. That's Keenan Blair, one of the standout returning players for Jerome, and the 6'2 senior, 250-pounder, plays both ways. And he comes up with a huge stop to bring up another 4th down. And again, this is where a field goal kicker would sure come in handy to get some points on the board and take the lead.
Yeah, right when they're about to get another 1st down in the red zone, they give up. Gooding's been killing themselves this half.
Snap, back to throw on this 4th down, throwing it up for grabs in the back of the end zone, throwing it a little long. Looking for Bryce Patterson. He had the first touchdown of the game, but this one out of reach, out of the end zone. And another red zone trip comes up empty for Gooding. And the teams have been piling those up tonight. Jerome's going to take over and keep that lead, just clinging to a 1-point lead. We'll see if either team wants to really take control of this game and go up by a score or two. Four minutes, 6 seconds on the clock. As we switch sides, the home crowd here in Jerome trying to urge on this offense that has really struggled to move the ball tonight. Coach Gamble said his team had struggled in practice to move the ball, and that's kind of shown here, just not executing cleanly. But as the game progresses, maybe they'll settle in a little bit. We'll see what they do here as Abram Garcia is under center. In a tight formation again. He lost that snap. He dove for it. I think he's trying to get back on it. I think Jerome's going to keep the ball, but we'll see who comes out of the pile here. Both sides pointing that they have the football. The officials are talking it over. And Jerome's going to keep the ball, so they fumble the snap. They retained possession. It looked like Gooding was upset there, thought they had the football. And Jerome's going to take a timeout and try to reset here.
This Idaho Sports broadcast is brought to you in part by Desmarais Funeral Chapel. Desmarais Funeral Chapel is proud to sponsor the Gooding Senators. At one time or another, a family will be faced with having to make the difficult emotional decision of making the final arrangement for a loved one. Desmarais Funeral Service, Inc. is committed to providing meaningful services for you and your family. Serving Gooding, Camas, and Lincoln counties in south central Idaho with complete funeral and cremation services with on-site crematory and pre-arrangements, pre-need insurance, and cemetery monument designing, sales, and servicing. We take time to listen, turning your decisions and ideas into a fitting tribute to honor your loved one.
We thank Desmarais Funeral Chapel and all our sponsors tonight. Clover Creek Dental, Stampede Burger, A&G Irrigation. We're bringing you the broadcast on IdahoSports.com. Magic Valley Game Night, great tradition. Bringing this game to you wherever you are around the world. Be able to support the Tigers and the Senators tonight. And it's a 7-6 football game right now. Jerome 2nd and 10 from their own 17. 3:43 to go in the third quarter. Garcia hands it off up the middle. And there is nothing doing. That Gooding D-line has been pretty dominant much of the night, and the sledding has been tough. Gooding comes up with another big play.
71, Declan Lopez again.
Yeah, Declan Lopez making a great play there.
He's been creating havoc. He's been getting in the backfield almost every play.
Devin Del Toro, 57, playing well up front for this team as well. 62, Ashton Young. And, of course, on the edge, Gage Tiemann, one of the returning players. He kind of comes up from his linebacker spot as a rush in quite a bit of the time, and he's played well also. But great play by Declan Lopes making another tackle. Back to throw, scrambling, and a sack. And that's Young, Ashton Young. We just mentioned him, number 62, getting in the backfield. And Jerome going backwards. That's going to bring up a 4th down. And I believe this could be the first punt of the night for Jerome. But
I think it might, but unless they go for it again, which I don't think they will.
4th and 17 from their own 10. Will they go for it? 2.5 minutes to go. You're up 1. You really should play the field position battle here, you would think. But they've been aggressive all night, so who knows what we're going to get.
Yeah, you never know. I think they'll punt it. I think they'll punt it on this one.
Looks like they're in a punting formation here. Pacheco back to punt it. He kicked the extra point earlier in the game. He's kind of a do-it-all guy for Jerome. Plays several positions for him. And we got whistles before that play can get underway.
Luckily for Jerome, because that punt was like 5 yards.
And that's a delay game, which may, like you said, serve Jerome well, as that was shanked out of bounds. Jerome will get another try, moving 5 yards back, be punting out of their own end zone here. You got to be careful just not to step out of your end zone for a safety here.
Yeah, let's see if Gooding goes after this one, tries to get a block.
Chaco just a few yards in front of the end line there, and he'll kick it away. And the kick is up, it is high, and it's going to come down and take a bounce for Jerome, a very nice bounce. And Brody Greeley, number 33, the returner, just gets out of the way of that one. And it takes a good bounce for Jerome, and Gooding will take over. They have had 3 trips into Jerome territory in this half, and no points to show for it, and they take over here at the 40.
Yeah, they've really just been hurting themselves with the holding penalties, and if they can get settled in and just run their offense the way they know how, they can start to score some points.
Mullins Edwards stays in at quarterback. He's been the quarterback this whole half. We saw Braden Martin on several possessions in the first half as they rotate the 2. They're staying with Mullins Edwards here. And he gives the ball up the middle for very little. Neither team has had much success running up the middle. 2nd and 9 for Gooding here from the 39. It's the time of night where the mosquitoes are swarming in the press box, and some people regret wearing shorts to the ball game. There's the snap, and that forward shovel pass and a big gain for the Senators. Butch Morris gets up near the first down marker. They've run that play several times tonight with fairly good success. 58 seconds left in our third quarter. 7-6 ball game with Jerome up by just a point. A failed 2-point try for Gooding and a successful extra point for Jerome, the difference in the game. There goes the handoff to Olson, and he plows forward, and he's going to get near another first down. And Gooding starting to string together some plays here. They had so many holding penalties on that last drive, they couldn't get out of their own way, but they've had some success here. We've got another Tiger down on the play. Maybe this is just cramps, it looks like. Hot August night, around 80 degrees when the game started. And we're under the lights here in the second half in Jerome. Some scores from around the state tonight. Minico beat Beaver, Utah 24-14. JT Garza, player of the game for the second straight week. He had 5 catches for 120 yards and a touchdown. Ran the ball 6 times for 29 yards. Bear Lake 14, North Fremont 8. And here it's Jerome 7 and Gooding 6 late in the third quarter. And coming off under his own power for the Tigers, it's number 44, Daxton Sharp. Shaking up on that play, the 5'11 sophomore linebacker. Gratefully he's able to get up, but that's another Jerome Tiger down on the turf.
Yeah, they've really, really struggled with their health this game. Hopefully after this game they can get some rest and get back on the field next week.
Juan Benavidez, number 8, the 5'7 senior there from his linebacker spot, helps run this defense that has come up with so many stops. What do they do here? 2nd and 5 against Gooding. Gooding hands it off, and we've got some room to the outside. Bursting down the sideline. He could go. Thrown out of bounds. And a big run for Brody Greeley, number 33. With 21 seconds to go, he rips off a run to set up a 1st and goal for the Senators. Big play, no flags. And Gooding in a position to take the lead back.
Now, can they punch it in?
Mullins-Edwards hands it off to Greeley. And he's stacked up just shy of the goal line, falls forward to about the 1. And I think we're going to go to the fourth quarter here. We only have 8 seconds to go and the clock's running. Gooding trying to get to the line quickly and get this off before the quarter ends. And they will. They get off one more play. There's the snap. And another stop by the Jerome defense will take us to the fourth quarter. Jerome 7, Gooding 6. We are going to switch ends of the field here. And Gooding is going to have a huge play in front of them as they trail by a point. They are a yard away from pay dirt, and they have had a tough time punching it in. We're going to take a 30-second break, and we'll be back with the fourth quarter of play here on IdahoSports.com.
Taking care of life's business doesn't always happen at the most convenient times. So we make it easy for you to access and manage your banking wherever, whenever. This is Community Banking, D.L. Evans Bank.
Welcome back to the fourth quarter of action here on IdahoSports.com. Jerome 7, Gooding 6, but the Senators are a yard away from the end zone, facing 3rd and goal, 12 minutes on the clock as we start the fourth quarter. What's been a really hard-fought game. We kind of expected this to be a close game. 2 young teams both trying to grow and learn. And the fans in attendance give a round of applause to our officials tonight. Of course, a referee shortage throughout the state, and we're grateful for the officials who will work these games. Tough job to do. And a big play coming up here for Gooding as they face 3rd and goal at the 1-yard line. There's that forward pitch. And coming around the outside is Butch Morris. He cuts it back. Is he going to get in? He's in. What an effort by number 23, Butch Morris, the junior. He was stopped to the outside, and there was a crowd there. He was able to switch position, cut it back up to the inside, and somehow fight his way across the goal line to give Gooding the lead 12-7.
What a huge play to get in there. Got multiple Tigers coming in on him and able to backtrack a tad and then get in.
11 minutes, 51 seconds left in the football game. And for the second time tonight, Gooding's on the board. This one, Morris. The 1-yard run that was about a 20-yard run gives his team the lead. We'll see what they can do here as they go for 2. There's the snap. Mullins-Edwards looks for his man on the slant, and that is caught by Patterson, who's had a great game tonight. He scored the first touchdown of the night. And the reception by Patterson, and that is key because it puts Gooding up 14-7 instead of 12-7. So the Senators, Class 3A power the last several years under Cameron Anderson, now under their new head coach, Tanner Bauman. A Gooding High graduate taking over the program. Coach Bauman said the expectations do not change. Despite the coach heading on, Cameron Anderson going to Burley, trying to build the program there for the Bobcats. So many talented players that won so many games over the last several years for Gooding departing. But this new group was ready, hungry. He said they had a chip on their shoulder. They were really hungry to show what they could do. And now they have a lead on the road at Jerome.
Yeah, this is the first time in quite a long time that Gooding hasn't been one of the teams predicted to win their conference. So I'm sure seeing that those preseason rankings come out sure gave them a chip on their shoulder to come out and prove something here tonight.
Gooding picked to finish 4th in the 5-team SCIC behind Buell. Alan Reynolds building something good there in Buell early in his tenure after being at Twin Falls for so long. Kimberly picked 2nd. Wood River drops down in just football from 4A to 3A. They're really struggling in the Great Basin for so many years. They moved down and joined that 3A SCIC conference. So Jerome trying to get back on the board, and we got a big kickoff return to start things off up near the 40-yard line. And that will start Jerome in a good spot. Seth Capps, the sophomore, showing some speed there. Good athlete. He's made some good plays tonight for the Tigers. And Jerome from the 38-yard line is where they'll officially spot that. Will take over, needing a score to tie the football game. What a wild finish it could be if Jerome scores and it comes down to that extra point to tie the football game. And we were probably going to have a false start. There were a lot of people moving before the quarterback started moving. False start on the Tigers. That's going to move them back 5 yards and bring up 1st and 15. Certainly one of the top things on both coaches' lists when they talk about things here in the coming days that they want to correct. Penalties have got to be right up there.
Yeah, when you start out the season, you always have some kinks you got to work out. That next week in practice is really focused on getting rid of those self-enforced errors, those penalties, and those just discipline and assignment problems like that.
Speaking of, Jerome false starts again. Self-inflicted wounds, as you said, by both sides have been plentiful. You know, it was funny when I talked to Coach Gambles earlier in the week. I said, hey, you ready for Friday? That was my first question to him. And he said, I think the players are ready and excited, but as a head coach, you never feel ready. You don't feel your team is, you never can feel quite ready enough. And he was worried about this offense that has struggled in practice to hold on to the ball and move it consistently, and knew it would take some time. He said they would grow through the course of the year and be a different team here in a couple of months. Garcia is going to keep the ball, hiding behind that big line, picks up a couple of yards, but it's first and 20 as they started things there, so it's going to still be 2nd and a mile as he picks up just a couple of yards. 11 minutes to go here in the ball game. Senators trying to get a stop and get the ball back. Jerome has not shown a lot of explosiveness on offense, and they've got a 2nd and 18 from the 32, so they need a big play here to keep this drive alive. Garcia's back to throw. He finds a man wide open, and a nice move there, and a nice pickup to get back near the original line of scrimmage. Maxton Hudson, we've seen him make a lot of plays on the defensive side of the ball, and hauls in the reception there. So a good pickup for Jerome, but still brings up a long yardage situation. 3rd and 11 for the Tigers. And Jerome in that bunch set, everybody within the tackles. Back to throw is Garcia, scrambling back, heaving it down the field. He's got a man, and it's broken up. Nice play by the Gooding defense. That's number 3, Evan Hunt, breaking up that pass that was intended for Toby Walker, number 11. He caught the touchdown on the last play of the half. Jerome shut out the entire first half until 1 second remained on the clock. They scored on that final play to go up 7-6. Had intermission, but Gooding has answered here. And in the 4th quarter, it's a 14-7 lead for Gooding that scored to start this 4th period of play, knocking on the door from the 1. And that ball is going to go over the punter, Pacheco's head. He's going to have to race back for it. He's going to scramble for it, and that's disaster for the Tigers of Jerome. Tough break. That snap several yards over the punter's head. And a frustrating play there. Big mistake for the Tigers. And that puts Gooding, which already holds a 7-point lead, in position to take charge of this one. Senators will have it 1st and 10 with 9:56 to go and a 14-7 lead. If they can add to this touchdown lead here, the way we've seen these offensive go tonight, you really got to feel like Gooding's in control if they can score here.
Yeah, with the pace that Jerome's offense has been playing at, they haven't had a ton of big plays. So,
big tackle in the backfield. Gooding goes nowhere there. It's going to lose some yards. Nice job flying in. Juan Benavidez, there's the senior linebacker. We expect him to make a lot of plays tonight, and he gets in the backfield, makes one there. And Jerome's going to need some more big plays like that. The ball at the 11-yard line. Looks like Senators lose about a yard on that play. Bring up 2nd and 11 or 12. There's that shovel pass again. This time it goes to number 20, Mason Lopes. We've seen Butch Morse take that several times. And Lopes takes that one. Third down for the Senators. 3rd and 8 from the 10. Under 9 minutes to go in the ball game. Jerome looking to come up with a big stop. There's that shovel pass again, and dancing around looking for room is Butch Morse. And it's going to bring up a 4th down. And Jerome, after a disastrous punt attempt that set Gooding up at the 10-yard line, may come away unscathed if they can get a stop here. 8:28 to go, clock running in the 4th quarter. Fans trying to get the defense fired up for a stop. And we've got a whistle and a false start on Gooding. So the fans get loud, and the Senators' false start on 4th down. And man, what a job by this Jerome defense. Backs against the wall. They may come up with a key stop right here.
Yeah, the Jerome defense has really kept them in the game.
Back to throw is Mullins Edwards. He's got his man to the outside. It's caught, but out of bounds. Nope, looks like it falls incomplete, out of bounds. Looking again for number 4, Bryce Patterson. But he's unable to bring that football in. And the ball is going to go back to Jerome, which still has a chance. They got a long way to go. But the Tigers will take over around the 10-yard line, 1st and 10, with 8 minutes and 3 seconds on the clock. Coach Gamble said one of his biggest goals going into this year was to just start better. They have not started well the last few seasons, started really slowly. They would love to be 1-0. They only won one of their first 7 games last year. And they would definitely like to get off to a better start in 2022. Abram Garcia under center. And do we have a fumble? We may have a fumbled snap again. We do. Another self-inflicted wound for the Tigers. That center quarterback exchange has had a struggle tonight. And they lose one there and can't recover it. This time Gooding comes up with it. They've done that a couple times on the night.
Now can the Jerome defense hold its own again to try to give the offense another shot to tie this game?
Jerome's defense has come up with stop after stop, being in tough positions tonight. They just got to stop. They have to come right back on the field. Very little rest with that quick turnover by the offense. And if you're Jerome, just when you're hoping to put together a nice long drive to tie the game, right away, you put yourself in a tough spot. And if Gooding manages to score here and gets up 20 or 21 or 22 to 7, it's probably pretty much over here. Handoff to Olsen. And he's pulled down from the back. I'm surprised that's not a flag. That should have been a horse collar. Hand inside the back of the jersey there, but they pull him down at the 11. 7:40 to go in the football game. Your options kind of shrink in the red zone. Execution's got to be good, and both teams have struggled with punching it in with many chances tonight. But Gooding's got the one-scored lead, and they hand it off here for very little gain to Olsen. He's run hard tonight, but tough sledding between the tackles.
The Jerome defense standing strong again.
3rd down for Gooding. They're going to send Patterson out wide. They've looked for him on kind of that lob to the front corner of the end zone a couple times tonight. And then they're looking for him again, throwing it to the back of the end zone. The back shoulder fade, and it's a touchdown for the Gooding Senators. That ball is caught, and that is a huge score for Gooding. 2nd touchdown of the night for Patterson, number 4. The junior wide receiver, and with 6:54 in the game, he puts his team up 20-7.
That was a heck of a throw, just floating it up there, letting it fall right into the hands of his receiver Patterson.
And Mullins Edwards
fumble,
unable to get this 2-point try to go with the fumble there, and the score will stay at 20-7. After the 10-yard reception by Patterson. 2-point fails. That's a couple times tonight. Gooding is unable to get that 2-point try. So Jerome down 13 with the football. Has got to get the offense going here to have any chance. They've got 6 minutes and 54 seconds, and they need 2 scores to get back in this ball game.
Yeah, Jerome really needs some big plays here. They really need to get the ball, try to get the ball downfield as much as they can.
We'll see what the Tigers come up with here on Magic Valley Game Night. We remind you that tonight's game is brought to you in part by Stampede Burger, locally owned and operated by Ben and Carmen Stevens since 2007. Stampede Burger is the place to go for the best food in Gooding. Hand-pressed hamburgers and handmade and breaded finger steaks. Hungry yet? There's more. Don't forget about the all-you-can-eat Taco Tuesday and the brand-new Wing Wednesday. Finish off every meal with our new ice cream treat, the Stampede Swirl. Stampede Burger is located right in the heart of Gooding. It's 701 Main Street. Stampede Burger, serving the pride of local farmers and ranchers on every plate. Go Senators. And here is the kickoff for the Senators, taken by Jerome around the 20-yard line. And scampering forward, looking for room. And now wrestled down by a host of defenders. And Jerome will start this drive in decent field position. And Abram Garcia and company will come out and try to get something going here, as they have the ball at the 36-yard line, 1st and 10, 6:45 on the clock. and needing a couple of scores to get back in this ball game. We mentioned that Jerome next week will be on Magic Valley Game Night again here on IdahoSports.com as they visit Kimberly at 7 o'clock. But also next week, the Gooding Senators take to the road to play Homedale. Homedale, a 3A powerhouse themselves, and that's a great non-conference test at the 3A level for Gooding. 7 o'clock next Friday, Gooding at Homedale on IdahoSports.com. Back to throw. We got a new quarterback in the ball game and taken down in the backfield. Number 6, Drew Hickson. He's a junior. The backup QB getting a chance here after the miscues by Garcia on those. You know, you got that center to quarterback exchange can go, either guy can be kind of involved in a miscue there, but they've had several hiccups tonight. And so they try something new here. Going with Drew Hickson, the junior, 6'1", 175. And the QB taken down on the sack on his first play. He runs wide here, trying to get to the outside. Finds a little room, but then he is swarmed under for a loss. And so Jerome going backwards here on that second down play, and that's going to bring up 3rd and a mile as we click down to 5:45 to go in this football game here in Jerome. Tigers huddle up here. 3rd and 22 now. And this is not an offense that's shown the ability to get big chunks of yards, so tough situation for Hickson and company. We'll see what the junior comes up with here. He's back to throw. He overthrows one man, but caught. And can he break away? No, nice effort, but all the way up to the 35-yard line. It's a good pickup there for Xander Bingham. So nice throw by Hickson, his first completion for the Tigers tonight on the young season. Season opener night around the state. A few games last week. We, of course, had the chance to see Minico beat Thunder Ridge in last week's Magic Valley game night. Spartans moved to 2-0 tonight, beating Beaver, Utah. They're favored to win the Great Basin Conference. Jerome wants to throw their hat in the ring there and see what they can do this year in the Great Basin. They'll get started there here in a couple of weeks. We got a timeout taken by Gooding with 4:34 to go here in the football game. A&G Irrigation is proud to sponsor Jerome Sports. A&G Irrigation is fully stocked with everything you need to keep your irrigation system well maintained and profitable. Along with selling the following products, please note that A&G Irrigation is also a full service repair and maintenance service for all brands. Give them a call, 208-324-9551. Go Tigers. Remind you at the conclusion of tonight's ball game, we will name our player of the game in the post-game show. So stay tuned for that after this one wraps up here in Jerome. 4:34 to go, though, until we get to that. And Jerome trying to come up with some magic here. Hickson under center, one receiver to the near side, bunch set behind him. He's back to throw, fires it down the middle, and he is picked off by Butch Morris. And Morris on the return, still on his feet, and that might do it. Gooding is going to get the ball in great field position around the 30-yard line, and another turnover for the Tigers. They struggled with turnovers in practice against their talented defense, and they've had their share of them tonight. They fumbled the snap several times, thrown a couple of picks, and Gooding looks like they're going to come into Jerome for the second time in 3 years and walk away with an early season victory.
Yeah, Jerome just never looked comfortable on offense in this game. Lots of mistakes. Hopefully we see them bounce back next week, though.
4:20 to go as Gooding starts this possession with another shovel pass. And that brings us down near the 4-minute mark. Clock will stop at 4:13 as they step out of bounds. 20-7 Gooding. if you're Jerome, your defense has done a good job tonight. You put them in tough situations over and over and over. What you really need from your defense now, though, to be honest, is a score. They've got to get a scoop and score, a pick six. It's going to take something like that to get Jerome back in this football game.
Yeah, with how many times Gooding's been in the red zone, it could easily be like 40-7 right now instead of 20-7. Their defense has played really well.
Olson takes the handoff, pinballs his way forward. Tough running there down to the 25-yard line. He's had a solid game. Sometimes not a lot of room, but he's found a way to make the most out of what's there. Under 4 minutes to go here in the football game. It's Gooding methodical now, taking their time, getting that call in, getting to the line, just trying to eat the clock and see if they can add to this. And, you know, if Gooding's able to score here and this ends up being a 3-score game, really not the story of the ball game tonight. Close, hard-fought game. Was a 1-point game to start the fourth quarter. And Gooding is just taking advantage of some Jerome mistakes here late, getting the ball deep in Jerome's territory a couple times on turnovers and finally able to cash them in after both teams struggled to do so earlier in the night. Three minutes, 25 seconds left. Gooding 20, Jerome 7. First and 10 for the Senators from the 21-yard line as they try to milk this one and head home to nearby Gooding with a nice road victory to start the season. And a big night for Tanner Bauman, the brand new head coach of Gooding, with an opportunity to go 1-0 in his varsity head coaching debut. A former Senator himself, graduated from Gooding, as we said, in 2011. Played for Gooding, has coached as an assistant at Gooding, and now the head man. And he will start 1-0 barring something crazy here in the final 2:40 of this football game. Gooding just moving the football a little bit at a time and using up these final minutes. There goes a handoff to Olson, who a nice jump cut to the outside. He's kind of pinned in there and just bounced to the outside and makes a great run. And he's down near another first down. Great play by Olson, putting his hat in the ring for the player of the game with his solid performance on the ground tonight. Gooding looks to the sideline here to get the play call as we near the 2-minute mark in the ball game with what looks like is going to be a first and goal at the 10. And the snap to Mullins-Edwards in the handoff, and a short gain there for the Senators. Mullins-Edwards has gone the distance here in the second half at quarterback after he and Braden Martin alternated possessions, so every other possession really, every couple of possessions in the first half. And Mullins-Edwards, the senior, getting the chance to go the distance here in the second half of play, has done a good job for Gooding as they've taken charge. Trailed 7-6 entering the fourth quarter, and a big dominant fourth quarter for the Senators. There's the snap. Quarterback's going to keep it. He's got some room. He's trying to get to the outside, and he is pulled down short of the goal line. Nice tackle by Xander Bingham, hauling the quarterback down around the 2-yard line. It's going to bring up a third down and goal. 1 minute and 6 seconds on the clock, and we got a timeout on the field. For over 12 years, Clover Creek Dental and Dr. McLaughlin have been providing exceptional dental care to Gooding and the surrounding area. They are now accepting new patients and can also do same-day crowns and implants. Dr. McLaughlin is great with kids and can accommodate the entire family. Clover Creek Dental is proud to support the Senators in tonight's game. Demarie's Funeral Chapel is proud to sponsor the Gooding Senators. At one time or another, a family will be faced with having to make the difficult emotional decision of making the final arrangements for a loved one. Demarie Funeral Service, Inc. is committed to providing meaningful services for you and your family, serving Gooding, Camas, and Lincoln counties in south central Idaho with complete funeral and cremation services, on-site crematory, pre-arrangements, pre-need insurance, and cemetery and monument designing, sales, and servicing. We take time to listen, turning your decisions and ideas into a fitting tribute to honor your loved one. Back to action here. Third down, handoff to Olson. He spins and gets in for a Gooding touchdown. There is a flag on the play. Might be a face mask as he got spun around, but we'll see if this one comes back or if it'll stand with a minute to go in the ball game as Olson plows into the end zone for the Senators. And we wait for the and it is on Jerome, and the touchdown will stand. So Olson caps a solid night of running the football with a short touchdown run, and Gooding in control now, if they weren't already. 26-7 with a minute to go. And Gooding's going to go for 2 again here. Try to add to that 19-point lead. Mullins, Edwards in the gun. Bobbles a snap, but we have whistles and a false start on Gooding. So definitely some things to clean up on both sides of the ball. Gooding's going to feel good about coming in on the road and getting a victory, but they've had their share of struggles tonight. Third quarter especially, they really committed a lot of turnovers and miscues that kept them from scoring there. This could have been an even more dominant win for the Senators. And now a little bit longer of a 2-point try as they'll give it a go from the 8-yard line. Back to throw, lobbing it and intercepted. And this can be, oh, they can't return it. It's dead on a 2-point try in high school with a pick. It's a dead ball. Unable to return that. That could have been back to the house for Jerome, but play will stop there. Minute on the clock, 26 for Gooding, 7 for Jerome. So the visiting crowd across the way from Gooding will go home happy tonight. Jerome crowd will look forward to next week's trip to Kimberly to try to right the ship a little bit. Kimberly also a new coach. Former Kimberly coach Rich Bishop is now on the staff here in Jerome as an assistant to Coach Campbell's great successful run at Kimberly. And leaves the Bulldogs to come across the Snake River and coach in Jerome as an assistant here. And will face his former squad next week. So an interesting storyline there for Coach Bishop. And we got a penalty that's going to be marked off here on the kickoff against Jerome. So they're going to move that ball all the way into Jerome territory. And Gooding will kick off from the Jerome 45. (26-7) Gooding leads, and they are going to kick the football away here. Kick by number 80, Garrett Arnold. Taken by Jerome, short return, and Tigers will start what is likely the final drive of the evening with 54 seconds on the clock. See what they can come up with here. We'll see if they keep it on the ground and run this game out, or if they try to attack through the air. 3 different quarterbacks used tonight, which obviously not an ideal situation if you're Jerome. Garcia shaken up early, was able to come back, but Gill, who replaced him, knocked out for the night. And now we've seen Hickson take some snaps. Drew Hickson, number 6.
Yeah, in the first game of the season, you don't think you're going to go through 3 quarterbacks. So it's been unfortunate for Jerome health-wise this game. A lot of people getting injured, unfortunately.
Tough one for the Tigers. They came in healthy. Coach Gamble said they were going to dress everyone. Everyone they had was available to play tonight, but they've definitely lost some guys. I think they're giving some guys who haven't had a chance to see the field tonight a chance to get the ball there. That handoff went to Benavidez, but whistled dead with the penalty on Jerome. And backwards they go. So you get so excited for a season opener. You're pumped up. You've been there. You know, how hyped are you for your first night? And then if it doesn't go well, how tough is that to bounce back from?
Oh, it's tough. You always want to win your first game. All the time and preparation in the weight room and on the field, going into your first game, to lose it's really tough.
Hand off and a nice run there. Oh, almost broke that. Nice run by the Tigers. And first down for Jerome. Juan Benavidez, the senior, standout linebacker, also sees some touches on offense and showed a burst right there. Nice job. Jerome try to regroup and clean up some mistakes and come back next week. Gooding goes on the road next week again. Second straight road game, they play Homedale, and that's going to be a tough one for the Senators. Quarterback keeper there. And a short pickup for Hickson. 13 seconds to go, clock running, and that may be it. Jerome huddling up. We'll see if they get one more playoff or call it a night. And I think that's going to be it. The final score from Jerome High School tonight is going to be Gooding 26 and Jerome 7. We will be back in 30 seconds with your post-game show here on Magic Valley Game Night.
We're a valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Welcome back. Post-game show here on Magic Valley Game Night, IdahoSports.com. Gooding victorious on the road over Jerome, 26-7 tonight. They come on the road and get a big victory over the Tigers to start the season off at 1-0. And a lot of great performances tonight. Austin Olson played well, running back, got a late touchdown to kind of cap the scoring for the visiting Senators. But as you think about this game, who stood out to you today?
Definitely Patterson. He really stood out. Had a lot of big plays for Gooding. That grab in the corner of the end zone near the end of the fourth, and he had an interception as well.
So Bryce Patterson, number 4, is your player of the game tonight. Spectacular game for Patterson. Early pick that helped set the tone, and those 2 touchdowns through the air, receiving on passes from Mullins Edwards. He is our Magic Valley Game Night player of the game. This has been an IdahoSports.com GameStreams production of Magic Valley Game Night, presented by D.L. Evans Bank. Brought to you by our major advertising partners, Project Filter, Valley-Wide Cooperative, the Idaho Transportation Department, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Next Steps Idaho, and your local Toyota dealers. This broadcast was also made possible by the great support from these local businesses: Clover Creek Dental, Stampede Burger, Demarie's Funeral Chapel, and A&G Irrigation. Special thanks to Athletic Director Scott Burton and everyone here at Jerome High School for their hospitality and help in getting this game broadcast to you. Congratulations again to our IdahoSports.com player of the game, Bryce Patterson. Thanks again for joining us as the Gooding Senators defeat the Jerome Tigers by a score of 26-7. For my broadcast partner, Carter Christensen, and everyone else behind the scenes here at IdahoSports.com, I'm Mike Christensen, and we will see you next time.
This has been a presentation of IdahoSports.com GameStreams. This broadcast is copyrighted to IdahoSports.com. Any rebroadcast, retransmission,